to my twisted world where heroes will collide. Villains are the only evil, there are no fucking sides. Every match will test their stats, every loss and win are weighed. Any chance they thought they had could all end up in vain on Combo Breaker.
When it comes to fighting an opponent, there are several ways to take them down and kill them. Whether it's using your bare hands or a weapon, such as a sword, axe, gun, spear, or hell, a million other things. Just look at Frank West over there, he'll use anything. But today's fighters use something a bit more unorthodox for combat. They use digging tools. Yeah, if it wasn't obvious by now, I'm talking about Steve, Minecraft's protagonist? Does Minecraft have a protagonist? What would define a protagonist for a game with no plot, no story, and was really hard to research? Anyway, Minecraft's protagonist, and Shovel Knight, the only man who follows the code of chivalry. Shovel Knight, the new age 8-bit platform that took the indie world by storm. Basically, you gotta go fight a great evil who kinda looks like Maleficent from Disney, like lawsuit levels of close. But on top of that, you got a fighter army of the Order of No Quarter. This is full of knights like a Big Daddy from Bioshock, Maka from Soul Eater, and the Nevermore skin from Overwatch. And those probably aren't the correct names, but I'm not gonna correct myself either. And all this to save your girlfriend. Holy shit, Shovel Knight's a pretty devoted dude. Or girl. They added this weird option where you can play as a girl version of Shovel Knight. So wait, is Shovel Knight a lesbian? But then again, he and she is also a fish. Man, this relationship is fucking weird. Alright then. Well, incredibly complicated and super weird intros aside, let's talk about what Shovel Knight is packing in terms of weapons, armor, and powers. Shovel Knight's primary weapon is his Shovel Blade. With this weapon, he can slash at enemies, he can bash in their heads, or dig bottomless pits to kick his enemies in Leonidas style. But Shovel Knight's most iconic attack is slamming his shovel straight down onto his opponents from above, just like Scrooge McDuck, and holy shit! That would decapitate a person, like, really easily. Like, consider the fact that this is a bladed shovel that he's coming crashing down on you with from above with the weight of him, his armor, and all of his gear. Like, my god, no one's surviving that. The horrific deaths aside, Shovel Knight is packing several sub-weapons, kind of like Simon Belmont in the Castlevania series, except Shovel Knights are a bit more magical, if you will. He has the Fire Rod for launching fireballs and other fire blasts. He's got the Phase Locket that can temporarily make him invulnerable, negating all damage and knockback. He wields the War Horn that launches out sound waves capable of killing enemies. He's got Bait Bombs and his Chaos Sphere, which launches out a green orb of light that he can launch around and do damage to enemies. Ha! Suck on Shovel Knight's green balls! Oh, okay, maybe I should have not said that. Ugh. He's got his throwing anchor, and that's just overkill. Like, what the hell? Who throws an anchor? Then again, I did it once. Yeah, I was in the Bikini Bottom one time, and there's an anchor throwing contest. Oh god, the poor guy who I threw it towards, he didn't see it coming, he was crushed. Ugh. Horrific memories aside, Shovel Knight still has more up his armored sleeves. He's got his propeller dagger that he can use to fly straight forward and stab his foes. Using the mobile gear, he can travel over dangerous areas such as spikes. He does this kind of similar to Link from Twilight Princess and his spinner ability. Yeah, that tool is like useless everywhere but Hyrule Warriors. He can use his Inker to refill his health and magic meter, which is incredibly useful, but I'll get to that in a minute. He also has his Dust Knuckles for punching things very fast and very hard, and I'm gonna restrain myself from making a fisting joke no matter how easy it would be to make here. He also has his Fishing Rod for catching things, and what the fuck, why do you have a fishing rod in the midst of combat? What is this, pro bass fishing? Ugh, that's just stupid. But nevertheless, it has its uses, like grabbing enemies and other objects from far ranges. However, each of these tools does drain Shovel Knight's magic, and he only has so much magic he can use. This magic system prevents him from spamming his magical abilities. Hence, the Inker is a very useful tool for not only healing him, but also refilling this magic so he can use his tools some more. But wait, there's even more! He's got several sets of armor that he can wear. However, most of them just do minor things, except for the one that I'm going to be mentioning here, that can build up a charge and launch out energy blasts from his shovel, giving his shovel an effective far-range attack that doesn't consume magic. Now, Shovel Knight's actually really impressive. I mean, just check out some of these feats. He's strong enough to break through rocks, jump several feet into the air despite all the armor he's wearing. He's managed to beat his version of Kratos that could destroy a temple in one attack. Plus, he beat the Order of No Quarter, which includes the Enchantress, who can create huge storms and upon her defeat, cause the destruction of her tower that caused an earthquake that was felt miles away in another town. That's incredibly impressive. He's fast enough to react to and dodge cannonballs. He can also hop on top of him with his shovel bounce ability, allowing him to hop across like the world's deadliest game of hopscotch. He can also dodge missiles from Tank Knight, and he can pilot the speeder bike from the Battletoads. Not to mention he's fast enough to dodge meteors and lightning, as well as fight several enemies all at once. He easily took hits from Kratos, who again could smash a temple with one good hit. Not to mention he was launched by a catapult, landed, and got back up with little trouble. Plus he survived an explosion from missiles and bombs, and he can get hit by cannonballs that are the size of him. Not to mention, he's at least scalable to Shield Knight, who survived the destruction of the Tower of Fate, which as I mentioned earlier created earthquakes felt towns and miles away. However, this does not mean Shovel Knight is perfect. He does have limited magic, meaning he can't overuse and spam his special weapons. Not to mention, he clearly has some sort of mental problems, as when he lost his girlfriend, he stopped being the shovel-wielding knight that we all know and love for quite a while. He didn't even try and look for her all that much, which is kinda just sad. But hey, he got her back in the end, so that's nice. But no matter what the filth he must face, he will always find a way to smite them with his spade. Minecraft. I don't really understand this game. There's no story and the gameplay is, well, just boring. Who wants to dig for hours? And I realize the huge amount of irony there is as I just praised Shovel Knight and I really enjoy games like Dig Dug, but those games have objectives. Anyway, let's talk about what this square's packing. Steve is fully equipped with a full set of diamond armor, which as you can imagine is super fucking durable, as it allows Steve to survive, well, typically any fatal attack. I mean, it's solid diamond for God's sake. He also has a full set of diamond tools such as a sword for hacking and slashing, a hoe for fucking, I mean farming, and an axe for chopping. But he also has a diamond shovel and pickaxe, which as you can imagine he can use to dig through the ground, just like Dig Dug, except in a less fun fashion. He also has a bow that he can use to shoot arrows at his foes, but not just normal arrows. I mean, obviously he has normal arrows, but he can also infuse his arrows with potions to do extra damage, poison foes, or give them stats effects that would benefit them, but why the hell would he ever want to do that? That's pointless. He also has TNT as well as a flint and steel. This allows him to, well, blow shit up, not only his enemies, but the terrain around him too. He has the Electro, which is essentially a glider that he can use to glide around through the air like Batman. He also has several potions that allow him to get the jump on his opponents. He has the Potion of Regeneration that grants him, well, a temporary healing factor. He has a potion that grants him temporary immunity to fire and lava. He has the Strength Potion that doubles his strength for 8 minutes. With his Potion of Swiftness, he doubles his speed for 8 minutes. And he can use a Poison Potion to throw at his foes to do damage to them. He also has his Damage Potion to do straight up just damage to his opponent. But now on to stats. Steve has some truly absurd feats when it comes to strength. He's strong enough to lift a weight that should be equal to 6.35 times 10 to the 505th power universes. Keep in mind though, he can do this and still move at full speed while carrying all his weight, as calculated by Game Theory. Now don't worry, I did double check their math, and yes, I'm giving them credit right here. This was an episode of Game Theory, and it was absolutely, like, crazy. But that's lifting strength. What about striking strength? Well, Steve can break trees with his bare hands, as well as even solid blocks of diamonds. Although the diamond blocks take way longer than a tree. He can launch mobs like zombies and skeletons with a single punch, and he managed to kill the Ender Dragon and the Wither. He's fast enough to deflect a fireball with his punch, quick enough to dodge arrows and fight several enemies at once. He's fast enough to keep up with wolves and spiders, and this means he can run at speeds of about 12.43 miles per hour. He's able to dodge lightning, however he can't do this very easily, and it's a very rare occasion when he has the chance to. He can survive TNT blast while in armor, as well as a decently long fall, plus he can survive attacks from mobs like zombies and the Ender Dragon, and he can withstand the heat of the Nether, which is essentially Minecraft's version of hell. But Steve is an interesting one when it comes to intelligence, as he is skilled at crafting and mining, and canonically we don't really have anything for him. So yeah, we know he can build shit and we know he can dig shit. That's all we got. As for weaknesses, his weapons and armor have durability that he needs to keep track of. He also has a limited amount of arrows and potions he can use. But no matter how deep the ravine, or how many fucking green exploding penises there are, Steve will always find a way to craft his way out of any scenario. Fucking creepers blowing up my house. I spent hours on that shit. It was for research! Ugh. Alright, our combatants are set and their holes are dug. Let's see which one will win in a fight to the death. Steve is digging a hole when he spots Shovel Knight digging up his yard looking for gems. Steve then jumps out of his hole and draws his pickaxe as he rushes at Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight turns around to see Steve, who lunges into the air and towards Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight quickly dodges and as Steve's arm slams his pickaxe into the ground. Shovel Knight then lifts his shovel blade into the air and, before slamming it down onto Steve's head. Steve collapses onto the ground as Shovel Knight walks away holding a large diamond. As Shovel Knight walks away, admiring the gem, an arrow flies towards Shovel Knight and hits him in his armor. He quickly turns around to see Steve standing there holding a diamond sword and full-on diamond armor. Shovel Knight then draws his fire rod and launches out a fire blast at Steve, who punches it out of the way, causing it to blow up part of the woods. Steve then dashes forward and spins, slashing his sword to the side of Shovel Knight, who barely blocks with his shovel blade. Shovel Knight then punches Steve across the face with his dust knuckle, knocking him back, as he grabs an anchor and throws it at Steve, nailing him in the head. Shovel Knight then leaps high into the sky as Steve pulls out several potions and drinks them. As Shovel Knight comes crashing down to Steve, he dashes back. Shovel Knight then lands, planting his shovel into the ground, as Steve rushes forward and punches Shovel Knight in the gut before he draws an axe and swings it down at Shovel Knight, hitting him. Steve then lights TNT as Shovel Knight gets up, causing a massive explosion, leaving nothing but a massive crater where a chunk of a forest used to be. Steve then walks away smiling with his sword over his shoulder. His walk home is cut short as Shovel Knight's shovel blade impales Steve through the spine. Steve then falls to his knees, bleeding, as Shovel Knight removes his shovel blade from his back and puts his phase locket away. He then spins and slams his shovel straight through Steve's neck, decapitating him, dropping his bloody body to the ground. Shovel Knight then puts his shovel blade away and digs through Steve's belongings, grabbing all of his precious gems. Winner is Shovel Knight, and this match was actually really close. I had a hard time picking the winner once I finished the research and saw just how close this fight actually was. But that's enough rambling. It's time to go ahead and pick this one apart for you guys and tell you why Shovel Knight should win this fight more often than not. When it came to strength and durability, Steve and Shovel Knight were incredibly impressive. Steve could punch through trees, fight and beat the Ender Dragon, and kill and launch mobs with his bare fist. Plus, he could survive TNT blasts, the heat of the nether, and long falls. Plus, he has a ridiculous feat of lifting strength, where he could lift the equivalent weight of about 6.35 times 10 to the 505th power universes. But that's only lifting strength. And while that is super fucking impressive, it's only lifting strength and does not scale to his striking strength or striking force, as we've never seen Steve punch with any force even near this. So he should be about town level with his strength and durability. However, using a strength potion will up his strength, not his durability, to city level for 8 minutes. Shovel Knight, on the other hand, is strong to kill skeletons, fight the Order of No Quarter, beat Kratos who could collapse an entire temple in a single punch, and he could even take on the Enchantress who, upon her defeat, caused the collapse of her tower that caused earthquakes that could be felt miles away, making Shovel Knight easily city level in strength and durability. So, Shovel Knight is stronger and more durable than Steve until he uses a strength potion, which will allow him to even the playing field for 8 minutes in strength but not in durability. So he'll need to use this wisely to try and take this match. When it came to speed, Steve is fast enough to dodge arrows, punch fireballs away, fight several zombies at once, and even outrun wolves. But his best feat of all is he can manage to dodge a single bolt of lightning. But Shovel Knight can dodge missiles, pilot a speeder bike from the Battletoads, and hop across cannonballs like a game of hopscotch. Plus, more importantly, he can dodge meteors and a barrage of lightning. That's far more impressive than Steve's single bolt of lightning he can dodge. So Shovel Knight is faster as he effortlessly dodges barrages of lightning, whereas Steve struggles to dodge a single bolt of lightning. However, Steve can double his speed for 8 minutes with the Potion of Swiftness, giving him a temporary speed edge. But here's the thing, Steve needs these potions to even out the playing field and take the speed advantage, whereas Shovel Knight is naturally superior, with his superior skill and items, like the phase locket that will allow him to become completely invincible for a temporary amount of time. He's really ready to take down Steve. Just to add on to the fact that Shovel Knight already has physical superiority, there's the fact that Steve's best defense is completely fucking useless. Yep, his diamond armor actually would not help him at all. See, gems have this thing called cleavage. Although, unlike an anime girl, this cleavage isn't as fun and essentially is what screws over Steve in this fight. Cleavage, not the fun bag types, is the angle that you can easily break a gem from. See, Steve's flat and blocky design of his armor would mean that all the cleavage of his armor and weapons would be at 90-degree angles, meaning Shovel Knight with one good strike could easily shatter his armor, his weapons, and most of what makes Steve even contend in this fight. Yeah, Shovel Knight could easily fuck up Steve by hitting these cleavage points with his shovel, or hell, even his dust knuckles could do this really easily. Yeah, Shovel Knight simply had all the right stuff to dig Steve a grave. Our winner is Shovel Knight. Next time on Combo Breaker.
Keep on going, indestructible.
Finally, I get to use my favorite character from My Hero Academia. Yes! Also, Reptile's just badass. This is gonna be a fun fight. Tell me what you think will win in the comments, and tell me what you think of the next match. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.